career in numbers. Keywords: Wayne Rooney transfer. Yesterday, Everton confirmed the 32-year-old would not feature in the Toffees' final game of the season away at West Ham due to a slight knee injury, which required minor surgery. It followed confirmation that Rooney had held talks with MLS side DC United over a possible summer move after growing frustrated at his playing time under Sam Allardyce. If, as expected, he does leave the English top flight, he will do so safe in the knowledge that he's done himself proud. With 208 Premier League goals to his name, he's second behind record holder Alan Shearer, who found the net 260 times during an illustrious career. A scorer of great goals as well as a great goal scorer, Rooney has notched more than a handful of screamers and audacious efforts over the past 15 years. But which was his best? We asked our reporters for their favorite Wayne Rooney goal. John Cross Rooney celebrates his strike against Arsenal in 2002. Image, Getty. His first goal against Arsenal as a 16-year-old in 2002. It was an amazing goal. It announced the beginning of an amazing career and even ended Arsenal's 30-game unbeaten run. There's been some crackers since then, overhead kick v Man City and volley v Newcastle in 2005, but his first is right up there with anything, especially with the significance of it being the first. Andy down the moment Rooney announced himself to the world. Image, Mirror Pics. Great goals often have great significance. That is why a 16-year-old Rooney's announcement of himself against Arsenal was special. That is why, last year, a 32-year-old Rooney's defiantly brilliant, long-range response to those who thought he was finished was special. That is why the acrobatic number that clinched a Manchester derby in February 2011, and set United on their way to another title, was special. Listen and subscribe to the Mirror Football Podcast. Sometimes, though, just enjoy goals for what they are. That is why his chip over David James in an FA Cup tie against Portsmouth in January 2007 remains a vivid memory. But if one goal summed up what Rooney's career has been all about, it has to be the volley against Newcastle towards the end of the 2004-05 season. Taking a moment's break from giving referee Neil Barry pelters, he crashed, on the run, a headed clearance into the top corner. Angry and brilliant. Darren Lewis Rooney's stunning overhead kick against Manchester City. Image, PA Wire. Overhead kick to win the Manchester Derby in 2011. A better goal, the winning goal, against superior opposition, to shambolic West Ham last year, in a high-stakes game. Fantastic technique. Neil McLean Rooney's strike in the Americana in 2013. Image, Getty Images. South America. Rooney specializes in scoring wonder goals against West Ham, though his volley against Manchester City takes some beating. But my favorite strike was on the biggest stage, the Americana, for his country against Brazil in June 2013. Picking the ball up near the left touchline, he cut in and curled a ridiculous right-footed shot into the top corner. Even the Brazilian fans applauded. Mike Walters remembered the name. Image, Daily Mirror. No contest. Not even a close call. Wayne Rooney's best goal was a JFK moment. You remember where you were, and what you were doing, when it flew in. England had just landed in Perth on an Ashes tour, and nobody had greeted the locals with a socially awkward comedy headbutt when Rooney's sensational winner against Arsenal from 30 yards, 5 days before his 17th birthday, beat David Seaman. That day, a star was born. Instinctive 60-yard lobs against West Ham are to a penny by way of comparison. Simon Mullock, one of the enduring images of Rooney's career. Image, Getty Images. It has to be the overhead kick to win the Manchester Derby in February 2011. Just 4 months earlier, Rooney looked destined for the Etihad after a huge fallout with Sir Alex Ferguson following his decision to turn down a new contract. I mentioned to a colleague that the United striker was having a stinker of a game when he lost control of the ball midway in the City half. 2 seconds later, Nani crossed and Rooney scored a goal so spectacular that it became the defining moment of that title-winning season. A few years later, during a one-on-one interview with Wayne, I mentioned that Joe Hart claimed he had "shinned it." "I'm afraid his reply," said with a smile, "is unrepeatable." Neil Moxley. Rooney's volley at Newcastle in 2005 was spectacular. Image, Manchester United via Getty. The volley for Manchester United against Newcastle United at Old Trafford way back when. "I just loved the fact he was arguing with the referee seconds before, trotted upfield, and then let fly. It was the greatest, have some of that, then, in the history of football." It is a difficult call though, because he's got some top 10. Steve Bates. Rooney sent Old Trafford wild with his overhead kick in the Derby. Image, Getty Images. The date is etched on the mind of every Manchester United fan around the globe. Saturday, February 12, 2011. Manchester Derby. High stakes in the game at deadlock. Step forward Wayne Rooney. The freeze-frame moment Rooney connected with Nani's cross with an overhead kick of sublime quality remains the iconic snapshot of his United career. To this day, United supporters pinpoint the goal as the defining moment of Rooney's Old Trafford career, even though there were many classy and spectacular goals on his way to the eclipsing Sir Bobby Charlton as the club's record goal scorer. From his debut goals against Fenerbahce, his full-of-anger volley against Newcastle in 2005, his stunner against Arsenal at Old Trafford the following year, his long-ranger at West Ham in 2014, the list is long and sumptuous. His beautiful strike for Everton against the Hammers at Goodison Park last year has plenty of merit. But for sheer big-game brilliance and a goal from nowhere, nothing comes close to Rooney's Derby Day winner against City almost 7 years ago. David McDonnell. Rooney finishes a brilliant counter-attack goal against Bolton in 2007. Image, Getty Images. It's a toss-up between the outrageous volley against Newcastle at Old Trafford in April 2005 and a breakaway goal against Bolton in March 2007 involving him and Cristiano Ronaldo. The volley against Newcastle was special because, moments before he launched the ball into the net, Rooney was arguing with the ref over a perceived injustice, then took out his frustration, with remarkable technique and power, to plant an unstoppable volley beyond the reach of Shay Given. The breakaway goal against Bolton was memorable for the speed and swift ruthlessness of the move, coming from a Bolton throw-in at the other end, with Rooney and Ronaldo exchanging passes and going from one end of the pitch to the other at breakneck speed, with the former applying a deft finish to score the perfect counter-attack goal. Both goals live long in the memory, for different reasons. Matt Lawless. Rooney peels away as the ball hits the back of the net on Tyneside. Image, Getty. April 24, 2005. That volley against Newcastle at Old Trafford. It was a goal that epitomizes Wayne Rooney. Explosive, unpredictable, genius. There he was, wounded with a dead leg and about to be brought off by Sir Alex Ferguson, arguing with referee Neil Barry. Suddenly, after a burst of anger, Rooney pounced on Peter Ramage's headed clearance, let rip from 25 yards out and rifled an unstoppable shot beyond a helpless Shay Given. "I had a dead leg at the time," said Rooney. "I saw one of our subs warming up and I was about to come off. Alan Shearer had put in about 3 fouls and the ref wasn't really punishing him enough. So, I was arguing with the ref and saying to him, if that was me you'd be booking him, so why are you not booking him? Then the header come out and I just hit it as hard as I could. It's probably the cleanest I've ever hit a ball. Manchester United went on to win the game 2-1. Take a bow, son. Liam Prenderville Rooney after his incredible strike against Arsenal, aged just 16. Image, Daily Mirror. Wayne Rooney has scored some incredible goals down the years, but his very first in the Premier League remains the best, for me. Aged just 16, he collected a lofted pass with an excellent touch before curling a stunning strike past David Seaman from range. That was the moment Rooney announced himself on the world stage, and it is fitting last year's hat-trick goal against West Ham came back at Goodison Park. It was a tight call too, with the acrobatic effort against Manchester City a close second. James Wailing Rooney rolled back the years on Wednesday evening. Image, Reuters. Technically, it may not have been his best, but the old romantic in me loved Rooney's goal against West Ham last year. After an initial burst of success and goals on his return to Everton, Rooney had struggled to rekindle the form that made him one of the best English footballers ever in recent weeks as the Toffees' struggles were laid bare. He was even summoned to a watching role as Everton were thumped by Southampton at the weekend, but with incoming boss Sam Allardyce watching from the stands. David Unsworth recalled Rooney for the caretaker boss's last hurrah against the Irons. And boy did he repay him, and send a message to his old England boss that he is still very much the main man at Goodison. Rooney only had one thought as the ball fell to his feet in his own half, and the strike was as crisp as you could wish to see, not a floaty lob dropping under the crossbar. A thunderbolt of a hit that flew past the stranded Joe Hart, referee Michael Oliver swerving for his own safety, and Angelo Ogbonna who tried to save it with his hands. And failed. What a goal. What a player. Manchester United vs Manchester City, 2011. Newcastle vs Manchester United, 2005. Everton vs West Ham, 2017. Manchester United vs Bolton, 2007.